Gervonta "Tank" Davis is at a turning point in his career. Following his spectacular victory over Lamont Roach, the undefeated champion revealed a bombshell. He is considering retiring. Now, before you assume he's done for good, keep in mind that this isn't the end of his career. Tank has made it plain that he isn't ready to hang up his gloves just yet, but the concept of taking a break to focus on himself is becoming more intriguing. But what's actually going on here? Is this burnout? Is Tank Davis losing his enthusiasm for boxing? Is this just the natural ebb and flow of a champion's mindset? Let's get into it. Tank has been nothing short of dominant in the ring, as anyone who has followed his career will know. Undefeated, powerful, and explosive, he is one of the sport's biggest names. However, great success brings great pressure. After years of intense training, constant media attention, and the harsh demands of being a top fighter, Tank appears to be ready for a break. He's been thinking on his boxing career, saying that while he enjoys the sport, he needs time to recharge. It's been an exhausting trip, and for the first time in a long time, he's thinking of taking a break to focus on other elements of his life. He's been clear about one thing: retirement isn't on the horizon right now, but taking a vacation seems like the best option for the time being. What's amazing about this is that Tank is still in his prime. He still has a lot of fight in him, as he faces high-profile opponents such as Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and Teofimo Lopez. These are huge matchups that might shape his legacy. However, Tank's physical and mental health have suffered. He understands that constant competition is exhausting, and taking a step back may be the key to ensuring that his following movements are deliberate and purposeful. It's no secret that boxing is more than just a sport. It's a harsh lifestyle that demands your full physical and mental strength. Tank is now learning that he needs to take care of himself, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Tank's comments about leaving the sport have elicited conflicting reactions. Some fans remain unconvinced. Tank is regarded as one of the best boxers in the world, and they do not see him retiring anytime soon. How could a boxer with so much promise and fame simply walk away? Others, however, recognize the need for a mental reset. It's not only about the physical demands, it's also about the strain, continual criticism, and the toll celebrity can have on people. Let's not forget that Tank Davis is still young and has a long life ahead of him outside of the boxing ring. However, this does not mean he is done with the sport for good. Tank's handling of his issue with the media has been particularly noteworthy. He isn't hiding from the truth of his burnout, he's frank about it. He has discussed how the sport has become more about politics and money than it is about the competition itself. He's tired of the business part of boxing getting in the way of what's truly important: the fight. Tank has clearly grown disillusioned with the industry, which is an attitude echoed by many fighters in today's game. Contracts, sponsorships, and commercial partnerships are gradually replacing the sport's former joy and fun. Tank, like many others, wishes for a return to the days when everything was about the combat. Tank's latest interviews have revealed some of his most personal sentiments about retirement. He has indicated that he does not want to continue pushing himself in a sport that is no longer rewarding. Instead, he wants to take a step back and focus on what is genuinely important to him: his family, his mental health, and finding serenity outside of the boxing ring. But don't interpret this as a lack of enthusiasm for the sport. Tank has always declared his love for boxing. Nevertheless, he now wants to maintain that love by taking a vacation before it burns him out completely. Tank's devastating battle with Lamont Roach may have led to his desire for a sabbatical. The exhaustion from the bout, combined with the physical and emotional toll of staying on top of his game, appears to have caused Tank to reconsider his future in the sport. It's not surprising. He's been one of the most dominant fighters in the lightweight division for years, with an undefeated record that speaks for itself. Even the finest require time to heal, and Tank is no exception. There has also been a lot of discussion about Tank's future opponents. Fans and commentators alike are excited about the prospect of Tank meeting Shakur Stevenson, a highly skilled and renowned fighter who many believe might offer a major challenge to Tank's supremacy. The potential for a confrontation between these two fighters is enormous. Both are unbeaten, technically sound, and possess the explosive power that might make for an amazing bout. But the question is, will it happen? And if it does, when? For the time being, Tank has avoided getting caught up in the excitement. He's concentrating on himself and getting in the appropriate mindset before taking on the big players everyone expects him to face. Tank's remarks on his mental state have caused some debate in the boxing community. He's made it plain that his aim to step away isn't to leave the sport forever, but to achieve balance in his life. He's been candid about the fact that he needs therapy to improve himself as a person rather than just as a fighter. That's something many fans can connect to. The pressure of being a top athlete, constantly in the spotlight, can be taxing on anyone. Tank's decision to seek treatment may surprise some, but it is actually a highly mature step. It demonstrates that he is not only concerned with his work, but also with his entire health. Despite all of this chatter about moving away, Tank remains confident in his ability. He's not afraid to face challenges and is still completely capable of competing with the best in the division. His philosophy is clear. He is constantly willing to prove himself, even if it means taking a break to recover before returning stronger. In many respects, this is the hallmark of a genuine champion, a warrior who understands when to take a step back, regroup, and then return with renewed focus and purpose. Of all, many people believe Tank's retirement talk is just that, talk. Prominent figures in boxing, such as promoter Eddie Hearn, have quickly dismissed the possibility of Tank leaving anytime soon. Hearn believes Tank is too big a star to retire right now, especially with so many prospective matchups still on the table. A fight versus Shakur Stevenson, for example, would be one of the most anticipated in recent years, with many fans wanting to watch it. Tank's mention of retirement appears to Hearn and others to be a phase, a brief period of dissatisfaction or tiredness that will pass once he receives the necessary rest. Tank's adversaries are now weighing in on his retirement rumors. Devin Haney, another prominent fighter in the lightweight division, has publicly stated that Tank would not retire anytime soon. Haney, who has always been a contender in Tank's eyes, does not believe that Tank is leaving for good. He sees it as Tank needing to reset and recharge before returning to the ring. But Haney sees a greater picture here. He still wants to fight Tank. Like many fans, Haney believes a fight between him and Tank is one of the most awaited contests in boxing today. Despite the suspicion, Tank's confidence remains unwavering. He remains certain that he is the finest fighter in the sport today, and that no one can beat him in the ring. He has made bold assertions about his abilities, claiming that no fighter on television presently has more talent than him. Tank is self-confident, and properly so. His track record speaks for itself, and he has repeatedly demonstrated his capacity to excel at the top levels. Having said that, it's evident that Tank's choice to take a vacation is about more than simply boxing. It's about preserving his mental health, his love of the sport, and his legacy. Finally, it appears that Tank is doing what any elite fighter would do when presented with such a huge decision. He is taking the time to contemplate. The future of his career is uncertain, but one thing is certain. Tank Davis remains one of the most exciting fighters in boxing, and whenever he decides to return, it will be a must-see event. Whether he takes a vacation now or continues his journey to greatness, one thing is certain. Tank Davis will always be a force to be reckoned with. As fans, we can only wait and watch what happens next. Will Tank return and give us the major fights we've been yearning for? Will he retire to pursue other interests? Only time will tell. But for now, we can appreciate his journey and the great performances he has given us. Regardless of what the future holds, Tank Davis has already cemented his place in boxing history, and his legacy will endure, whether he is in the ring or not.